Welcome back. So while you and I have been watching the Madlanga Commission today, the first action has been taken by the presidency following its interim findings. The presidency ordering that disciplinary action be taken by the SAPS against the suspended Deputy National Police Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya over his relationship with Vusimuzi Cat Matlala. The commission had heard that Matlala paid Sibiya money to buy a property and brought antelope or impala for him in return. Sibiya is alleged to have helped Matlala get certain SAPS contracts. He's denied those claims. The presidency has also said there should be action against Fani Nkosi and Brown Mokhotsi. Dr. Chris de Kock is the former head of the Crime Information Analysis Centre for the South African Police Service, now an independent crime and violence analyst. Dr. de Kock, good afternoon. We've all seen the testimony against these three people. Is the presidency's response to this, so the president can order disciplinary action, the presidency cannot order the laying of criminal charges, but can recommend that that be investigated. Is that the right response here?
Yeah, I think so. First, I want to say hello to you and to the viewers. I think this is just the same pattern which was followed after the first interim report. When was that? In December. And now there was the interim report in May, which the second interim report. And every time the commission put some names on a list and provide that to the presidency, and the presidency look at that, and they can then refer, they can institute or ask for disciplinary steps, but they can also refer it to the special investigation task team of the South African Police Service. Sometimes people refer to that as the Madlanga special task team, but that is wrong, and the commissioners have said it over and over again. It is an special investigation team within the South African Police Service. They will now investigate Lieutenant General Sibiya and Brown Mokhotsi and Sergeant Nkosi, as well as Witness G. And then the further development is that Witness G, or in this report it was said that it should... Witness G and Mr. Brown Mokhotsi, who present himself as a sort of a spy, which even went so far to say that General Mangwanazi, that was his allegation that General Mangwanazi is linked to the CIA. Now, all of that have to be investigated by this special investigation task team. And if evidence is found, well, then they will be arrested and cases will be opened with charge sheets and so on.
So, Dr. de Kock, that was in May. I mean, we all saw the testimony. Is there any reason why it should take nearly 3 months for the presidency to make this order?
Actually, I think it was too long because people are asking me over and over again. We have seen Sergeant Nkosi in court. We have seen Mokhotsi in court, but for other cases, and people are getting a little bit disillusioned, and they say, but why don't we see General Sibiya? I mean, there were so many allegations, and even allegations of the very important role that Sergeant Nkosi played, you know, in going to underworld figures, getting money there to transfer it to General Sibiya. All of those allegations, I say this is allegations, but was made. And now people ask me, but why it seems that this commission will in the end just cost the jobs and put people in jail, or the consequences of the commission, people will go to jail with low ranks. The Lieutenant General, which is actually the second most important person in the South African Police Service because he is the Deputy National Commissioner for or he was the Deputy National Commissioner before suspension of Detective Services, Intelligence and Forensics.
I mean, it's still staggering to think that, in fact, a Deputy National Police Commissioner faces these charges. I must say, I mean, you know, he's tried to give his version. I can't see any way around it. It would seem very likely to me that there will be criminal charges in the end. Is there any way to speed this up? This is, I mean, how many times do I need to say it? The top leadership of the SAPS involved in this kind of thing. I mean, it's incredibly serious.
I I think everybody will agree with you. They want to see very, very swift action. They want to see, these very important figures, which where there's allegations of corruptions in. They even want to see it overnight in orange uniforms. But the problem is this, legal issues and the law takes its course, and it is sometimes a long process. At least one thing I'm very glad of, and I must say I rejoice basically every day now, is that we see some action. We see people in court already. I mean, the one that we have seen most in court is Julius Mangwanazi. He's in court again today. I don't know if he will get another bail, but in any case, the fact of the matter is we are seeing Nkosi, we have seen in court for quite a few times. Brown Mahotsi, we have seen. And I think when we're now starting to see, well, we see the National Commissioner even, and I think wrongfully, in court with Mr. Kat McLala. So there is at least some action coming from the Madlanga Commission, which we have never seen in other commissions.
So, I mean, all of this is still going to take quite a long time, and there are more findings to be made. I mean, look at what we've seen around the former IDEC head, Andrea Johnson, for example. It would seem to me there'll be a lot more recommendations to come from the Madlanga Commission. I mean, as there may be scope for the presidency to speed things up next time around.
I think they should react quicker between when them receiving the interim report and mentioning names, which was mentioned in the report, and action that have to be taken. I really think in the first report it was quite quick, the first interim report, but it was in the second interim report, and that is when people start to ask questions. But because the commission actually also, I think it was even before May, said they're not going to call General Sibiya back to the commission, which indicated that they are now done with him and that they think there is enough allegations to look for evidence.
Dr. Chris de Kock, thank you. An independent crime and violence analyst, but before that, former head of the Crime Information Analysis Centre at the South African Police Service.